Hello and welcome to another video. And today we're looking at some material to continue along with our lessons in the Level 9 Harmony course. And today what we are going to be looking at is something called the pedal point and also 6/4 chords, which are also known as second inversion chords. And also we're going to look a little bit later in a different video on the diminished seventh chord. These are all part of the Unit 9 materials of the Level 9 Harmony course. The scanned copy that I have here is for educational purposes, just to help explain a few things as we travel through the material. Now, something that's very interesting with the pedal point is that pedal point is basically a term that goes all the way back to the Baroque period. Now, if we think of Baroque music, especially Baroque organ playing, you can imagine, or any organ playing really, especially organs at a church, you can imagine there are multiple manuals where the keyboards are used to create different sounds. And then we also have the foot pedals that are used by the musician to play the low notes for that instrument. And so a pedal point is when a sustained note that traditionally would have been played on a organ was pressed down with the feet, and then other really interesting chords were played above, which in some cases did not fit or match the bass note that was being played with the feet. So usually this creates somewhat of a dissonance in that the lowest note of the chord is not a chord tone that fits the chords above. And so this type of technique is known as pedal point and is also very interesting because the details of the chord are sometimes organized into two different layers. We have pedal and then we have chords above, which are circled here. So there's like two different combinations of analysis here. Let's erase that for simplicity. So if we were to look at this first example, you'll hear how the bass note is the same, but the chords above change. So when we get to these kinds of dissonant chords, you can hear how the lowest note is the same, but it does not sound like it mixes or matches with the other notes above. So that is where the pedal point comes into play. It's very important and is very helpful and useful. Now, when looking at this analysis, you always want to think about how if there is a tonic or a dominant pedal, which are the two most common ways of using this technique, you always want to think about how long the repeated notes are at the bass part of your music, and then also how do the chords match above. And it's always good to think about, as soon as we find the tonic pedal, to ignore that lowest note. Just because, of course, if the chord does not match the tonic pedal, then it's less confusing. So what you want to do is think, okay, in this case in C minor, the tonic pedal is the C. So then you want to kind of ignore anything that's low and then see what kind of intricate chord changes occur above. And here there's some nice definition of the chord changes. Something else that's interesting too is that there are no rules about which chords to use. So sometimes composers can use dominant seventh chords, they can use different chords in the diatonic scale, sometimes they can do chromatic things above, but that is up to the composer and up to the mood that they wish to convey. Something that's very interesting about the pedal point as well is that because it creates kind of a dissonance, but at the same time creates that sense of home key. There is still a kind of a grounding quality, kind of like a sonic sense of feeling like you're at home, even though the chords are moving around a little bit, because usually they will gravitate back to either the tonic note or dominant note of which the chords are decorating above. So you can see here how always looking for the lowest note, seeing if there's a repeated note, and then analyzing the chord above, while ignoring the tonic pedal or dominant pedal as soon as you found it, are the two most important things with this compositional technique. So I do hope that you have a lot of fun as you look through this material, and I do hope this material was helpful for you. I look forward to seeing you at the next video. Thank you, and take care.